Before I start this video, I want to say that I'm going to start putting out parts or clips of documentaries that I've done. The documentaries I do are pretty long, so I'll be uploading shorter clips for people who just want to see my videos in parts instead of watching a full documentary. A lot of you have already seen some of these clips in my documentaries. I'll be adding some new information and updating some of the video. So this is mainly for the people who never watched them and that just want to see certain parts of a story. So let's get to the video. So today we're going to California with it, Northern California to be exact, in the city of Sacramento. So this is a strange, horrific story that a lot of people don't know about. One of the most sickest, disturbing rap crime stories I've ever heard about a rapper named SICC'S, aka 666 Bounty. Real name Maxmillian Kunitz. SICC'S is an American underground gangster horrorcore rapper from Sacramento, California. South Sac, Iraq to be exact. From a hood called Creek Mob. From the Elder Creek area of South Sacramento that don't claim blood or Crip. Fast forward to the early 90s, Brotha Lynch and SICC'S would sign to Black Market Records. 1993, Brotha Lynch Hung would drop the album 24 Deep, his debut EP with 9 tracks in it. In his debut album, you would hear him speaking to the devil, rapping about cannibalism and unaliving babies, but not in them words. I can't say it because YouTube is strict, but you know what I mean.
Who the f?
Just call me Manson. Some people say I'm the devil.
Something like a Manson, mom. My nigga 666.
I got him doing that devil dancing, mom.
Nigga ribs in my mouth. Now who's next? I got the menu of a cannibal.
Year before that, in 1992, Sacramento 29th Street Crip rapper X-Rated would drop his first album, Psychoactive. Even though the album is gangster rap, it would also be the birth of horrorcore rap, since he was rapping about taking the life of a woman while dressed in a devil's costume on Halloween night. After the release of his album, he was arrested with 4 others for the murder of Patricia Harris, a relative of a rival gang member from Meadowview Bloods. Brotha Lynch, SICC'S, and 3 6 Mafia were the pioneers of these satanic raps around the same time in the 90s, which now is really popular in the music industry. Most of these industry artists sell their soul and have satanic imagery in their music videos and concerts. But it all started in the 90s with Brotha Lynch, SICC'S, and 3 6 Mafia. It wasn't seen in rap until they brought it in their music in the 90s. Before then, it was just something we seen with rock and roll artists where it all started. Though Brotha Lynch spoke about the devil and had conversations with Satan in his songs, he always claimed to be an atheist. SICC'S was deeper with being a proclaimed Satanist, even being named 666 Bounty. It's not clear if he took it to the next level like Lord Infamous and Koopsta, who were doing actual satanic rituals and playing with the Ouija board. Brotha Lynch was even saying SICC'S was into the devil on his first album.
666 with that devil shit, and me with that cannibalism shit.
They say you a cannibal, huh?
Yeah.
I think I can relate to you.
In 1995, Brotha Lynch dropped his most controversial album to this day, Season of the Sickness, featuring SICC'S and a few more rappers from his crew. This album turned it up a few notches with talk of gang violence, cannibalism, talking to Satan, unaliving babies. I can't say it because YouTube is strict. SICC'S even has a verse where he mentions sick things about his mother and chewing babies.
I'm chewing up babies. We finna stay sick with a crazy run 'em up gospel shit. Keep seeing there's a nigga named SICC'S with the love to the brain. Yo, wouldn't they be with my lunatic shit? Have you ever seen your mama's cat? Yeah. Have you even seen nobody drop?
You know devil's gonna die, so I'm back in this motherfucker, you know?
Nigga.
I have my 12 gauge pump, decorating niggas' brains. Nigga nuts and guts is how we get sick, them Northern Cal slangs. That low to the brain shit ain't no game. I know they be crying when I'm cutting off the neck or peeling off the skin for some bacon fried croquette. Baby villain spine, that baby killing mine. If I died when I shot you, that mean I was the devil, you know? It's baby killer season. Put 6 in the clip, put it up that clit and watch them babies' brains drip at that fetus. Bleeding stat nigga that kill him, I fill him, I'm full for that shit. Cause living with that 666, you learn to f devil in his mouth and eat the and I admit,
cause a nigga won't last much longer. With rats in the cut, you and all on your nuts like my nigga Jeffrey Dahmer. Straight loving that shit, that sickness gets me harder than a corpse. So
you better pray when you see me put that 9 up in that. Cock it back slow, rock it back and forth, wait for the nut, then let my trigger go.
The Season of the SICCNESS album had a lot of controversy. In September 1996, 18-year-old Joseph Edward Gallegos, a juvenile parolee, shot dead 3 of his roommates execution style and shot his ex-girlfriend in the arm at her school after repeatedly listening to Brotha Lynch's album Season of the SICCNESS, high off crystal meth. After Brotha Lynch's album dropped, SICK'S would start taking his rap career more serious. He dropped his first solo album in 1995, not too long after Season of the SICCNESS, called Dead for Life. In 1999, he dropped his second solo album, If These Walls Can Talk. He has a third album that never officially released, Deer Hunter. He also collaborated with Brotha Lynch on an album that came out in 1992, but released in 1998. In these albums, SICK'S had more than a few strange, questionable verses where he spoke disgusting things about children. His family and friends should have sat him down and discussed these lyrics and make sure if he was okay mentally. The record label should have never dropped these songs. They were definitely red flags and more serious than we thought.
We grew up like weird, thinking of the weirdest stuff, the craziest stuff, and we like horror movies.
comes your legs, tear the skin off your face. Take a newborn child and cut off its waist. If you nigga, but you showing the fuck, won't be walking out. Nickname funk on sight. Sick made all my life from fucking your kids instead of your wife. That's way more than an elephant, bitch ass nigga named Doc, zipped up in the body bag. Creek mob nigga, fuck your mama and your daughter. Put them both up in the water. Sipping off that rip juice, no excuse. I'm like a pit loose, like I'm up and shaking by the nuts like dice. I'm a potent dim black ice, and it's Mando. My master's
Never know when I'ma need my devil kids. Paranoid to see now. It's the reason I'm schizo. Listen to my clip flow.
Jack and they dip, he death breathing, and the dog flew off a shot of tango raping, pink singing. Till the fog moves, assuming the devil's digging. That bitch, but if you fuck me, the seat's going up your daughter's skirt, nigga. And you know I'm half blood with the baby killer, gravy swigger, Dracula, and up them babies, bitch. So check the flavor next time you eat that tuna fish. Nigga, that's the shit that I'm known for. From the time I was a kid, I always knew what.
SICK'S would cross the line with his lyrics regarding people's children and babies more than a few times in his raps. I understand he could have been rapping in character, but not even Brotha Lynch would go this far in his raps. I'm gonna try to keep this part as clean as I can with certain words I can't say on YouTube, so please bear with me. I'll be using some abbreviation for certain words, so try to understand the best you can. This is where this rap story turns into a crime story. This will be the third time a black market artist from Sacramento would be all over the headlines on the news over a serious crime. June 13, 2001, SICK'S, along with his girlfriend Aniva Jamieson, aka Ana Maria Lopez, were arrested on sickening, horrific sex crimes that involve his own children. They were both arrested for 69 felonies, including child molestation, possession of CP, and several other sex crimes. SICK'S and his girlfriend faced a combined 400 years in prison. They both were charged with numerous sex offenses arising from their molestation charges of 2 children. One child being his own daughter and the other child being his daughter's friend. As strange as it sounds, the 2 defendants committed the crimes by forcing the victims to pick a card from a deck of sexually explicit drawings and then performing the act as depicted in the drawing. SICK'S and his girlfriend were charged with numerous sex crimes, like forcibly committing a lewd act oral copulation, aggressive sexual assault, sexual penetration, and aggravated rape on a child. In September 2004, SICC'S pleaded guilty and received 32 years in prison. He also has to register as a sex offender forever. A few months ago, after being silent for 23 years, SICC'S would appear on a YouTube prison podcast doing his first interview since he's been in prison. In the interview, SICC'S speaks about giving his life to Jesus and becoming a man of God while in prison. He also spoke about his case, taking full responsibility of his crimes after blaming it on losing his mind because being addicted to meth. He mentioned how his music was sick and satanic, that with a meth addiction, all it can do for you is set you up for failure. He has plans of getting back into music with a big change of rapping about God when he gets released in 2024. Surprisingly, he even had people in the comments still supporting him.
Well, I take my full responsibility of that. You know, I wasn't necessarily in a gang environment, but some of the things that I was doing just were unhealthy. But internally, you know, I've really learned during my time that I have to take responsibility of who I am as a man. So first of all, I got on meth really, really bad, Ali. That wasn't my thing. I was mostly just a drinker. And I was at a party one day and I was kind of tired, so I was drinking all day and, you know, just being uninformed of what that drug was. And I tried that, man, and I lost my mind. And so just one of the things that I would kind of change and just not do anymore is get on that trip. And just the people that I've heard, you know, I really went on a trip to where I was just kind of like checked out with life. You know, I really didn't, even though I was still working with my music, I didn't feel like I had purpose. And because I felt like I didn't have purpose, I started just gravitating to anything that would fill the void. So nowadays, you know, even though people don't really believe me, I belong to Jesus. I belong to Jesus now. So knowing the fact that God has a plan for my life and that he saved me gives me new hope. So just the people that I would be around, the things that I would put in my body, in my mind, I would change those things. And just remember that good days or bad days, every day has a purpose. So being focused on that, like Cass doing what you're doing, you guys are moving it right along and you're being positive and you're feeding your families and you're doing positive things. But I miss my music. You know, I was working on my third album when I started using meth. And then so, you know, once you're on that drug, you kind of check out and stop everything. And so I missed that. So that's one of the things that I want to do when I get out, as soon as get back on my career. It's just, I'm trying to get out and just stay out the way and do my thing. But, you know, I love my music and I do believe that God wants to use my music to impact people's lives. And I want to be involved with different groups and functions. You know, first of all, I need to anyway because it's going to be part of my parole. But I'm not doing it just because I have to. I'm doing it because I want to. You know, it's going to take me a minute and, you know, some trial and error to figure out where I fit in as far as, you know, the groups or the conversations. But at the same time, I'm just trying to stay out the way. I'm going to answer that with another comment. So apparently another comment was made, which I totally respect. He says that it's crazy that SICC'S thinks he's going to have it's crazy that SICC'S thinks he's going to have a career. And it's crazy that, I'm paraphrasing, this is crazy that, you know, no one's going to pretty much, you know, rock with a pedophile. I mean, no one's going to, like, support him. And you know what? He's right. Who he or she or whatever, it is crazy to think that I can just come out and have a career. You know,
why is that crazy
to think?
Why is that crazy?
Let me finish. So it is crazy that, you know, I would just assume that people want to still hear my music, which they do. I just got off the phone earlier with somebody from Washington, and you know, these tablets are a blessing, man, and they really connected and say, hey, SICC'S, I'm still waiting on music. But back to your question, what's crazier, though, and Ali, I'm not trying to sound super spiritual, but this is just real. What's crazier is what Jesus did for me. And I'm always going to go back to that. You know, I spent most of my life making music that was sick, that was satanic, and things of that nature. God gave me these gifts. And so whatever else I can do for the rest of my life is going to honor him. So what's crazier was what Jesus did for me. What's crazier is that God wants to use my story to reflect his glory. So on one hand, I can appreciate people saying, you know, who do you think he is? You know, no one's going to support him. That's not up to me. I'm just going to honor God, be obedient to God, make the music that I need and put it out there and put it in his hands and let him do what he wants to do with it. You know, if I turn around and I stop doing what I'm doing just because man has a problem with that, then I'm not much of a man. You know, and it's not to say I don't appreciate the situation. It's not to say that I'm done. But Ali, truthfully, man, I should have been gone off this earth a long time ago, even before I became a monster. That's just the life I was living before. But I heard something the other day. Somebody says, if you have a pulse, you have a purpose. And God keeps giving me a pulse every day by waking me up. So I'm going to go out and make this music for his glory, say the things that I have to say, and put it in his hands. And whatever God chooses to do with that, that's his business. You know, if I can't argue with my Heavenly Father. I can't say, well, God, you know, people don't want this or people don't want that. But truthfully, there's a lot of people that are still checking for my music. And that's even humbling for me. You know, I feel grateful that people still want to hear my story. So I don't know if that answers your question, but for people just to think that I'm just going to come out and just stop doing what I'm doing, you know, they might be disappointed. I don't want to offend them, you know, and I give my apologies to the people that I've hurt, whether it was my daughters directly, whether it's my family directly, or whether it's people in the communities. I mean that sincerely, and I am genuine. I don't know how to be fake, you know. I've never been fake.
Okay, so
If you want to see the full documentary, click on the video right now. I'm also gonna put the link of the documentary in the description.